is such a solid everyday carry, right? There's no task, big or small, that this guy can do, and it does it so well, so efficiently. I'll share kind of a personal story about this guy. So at first, I didn't necessarily like Spyderco's. Check out my index finger. It took some getting used to. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Miguel and you're watching Miguel EDC, where we talk everything EDC gear here. Today we're going to be reviewing this guy right here, the Spyderco Para Military 2. So this is of course the infamous Spyderco PM2, very well known, very popular. I think everybody at some point in their knife EDC journey has heard about the PM2 in some way, shape or form. So I can't wait to share with you guys my feedback, what my experience has been like EDC and this guy over the last couple of months. I will say up front, if you guys recall the unboxing video, on the Para Military, military. What is military? Military, really? Military? Come on. Hopefully I don't fail. Oh, that is so good. Hopefully I don't fail. Bruh. Obviously, it comes at around $170 some around that ballpark. By the way, check the links in the description. Those are affiliate links that help out the channel at no extra cost to you. If you are considering getting one of these guys, you know, this being one of the higher price EDC knives in my collection, it has certainly stood out as a very, very solid EDC over the last couple of weeks. And I'm just so happy I pulled the trigger. I'm so happy I made the purchase. And I have not been disappointed. This guy has not let me down whatsoever in any way, shape, or form. So let's go over some basics here. What do we have going on with this guy? So we have the infamous PM2, of course, with the very iconic Spidey hole right there, right? The very iconic, recognizable Spyderco circle on the blade. This is the PM2. There is a Para Military version, which is the OG. It's a longer knife, and there is a Para 3, which is the smaller brother to the PM2. By the way, a review on this guy will be dropping sometime in the very near future. Stay tuned for that. Like and subscribe if you don't want to miss out on it. But yeah, this guy right here is a you know, very medium to large size knife. This guy is rocking a CPM S45 VN, which is a very, very solid steel here, very premium steel. And I got it in this satin finish right here that you can see. It is such a beauty. Of course, the USA made knives, they are made in Golden, Colorado, USA Earth, right? In case you're wondering what planet these are from, they are still from good old USA Earth. So these are American knives. I mean, this is the real business right here. Boom. So let's talk about this guy. What has the experience been like for this guy? I want to tell you, this has been an awesome experience with this knife. I got to tell you right off the box, you know you have a premium knife in your hand. It's all about the business, and it does the business. That's how good this guy is. Obviously, you have the very iconic Spidey hole right here, which again, for deployment options, boom, that reverse flick right there, that is my favorite. Also, you could do a very slow opening if you wanted to, right? Very classic, very classy slow opening. You could do that as well, right? Got some very nice jimping going on all the way at the top right here. All kinds of good jimping going on, not only in the blade, but also on the liner as well. So that's very, very nice. You can get a nice good grip on there, right? You also have a choil here, right? You could choke up on it right there, finger choil, right? You could kind of grab it like that if you wanted to, or if you needed to. Some people complain that if you forward choke, you can't use the thumb for the jimping up here. It's kind of uncomfortable. But I mean, for me, I have medium hands. They're not too large, they're not too small, somewhere average, somewhere in the middle. And you know, it depends on the cut you're trying to do. I definitely value the ability to be able to forward choke on there if I need to, right? It's always convenient. And obviously I still am able to use the jimping here at the top as well, either way. As far as the air goes, right? Look at this guy, right? You can fit all 4 fingers right there, no problem. Still got a good chunk of handle still left here on this end. Still got a good chunk on the front end as well. And I mean, you can go about your cuts, no problem. Forward cuts, reverse cuts, right? You're not gonna do these as much, but again, you can still do these, no problem. A lot of people also complain there's no sharpening choil on this guy, right? A sort of like, you know, like a trade-off for this guy when you're using the PM2, but you are able to, let's say, close it this way, right? Use your thumb instead, and then use your index finger to stop the blade. It will look something like that. And as you can see, right, that's not going to be anywhere near your finger, right? And then just close it all the way like that. All right, once again, this guy is rocking the compression lock, which is a very, very solid lock right here. That blade is not going anywhere. There's no side-to-side rocking of any kind. This guy's a solid 10 out of 10, right, without a doubt. And again, it works just like the liner lock, except in the back. So when I push this liner here, right, the blade drops just like that, right? And then eventually it locks the detent right there, right in place. Very, very nice. I will say though, it took a little bit of getting used to, right? Check out my index finger, right? And I'm not whining, I'm not complaining, I'm not trying to be a baby here. I'm just pointing out the obvious, right? It took some getting used to. You know, if you don't have a Spyderco knife and you're just getting used to them, right? Just know your index finger, whether you're righty or lefty. I know there's a left hand version of this knife as well out there if you're a lefty. But yeah, your index finger, either way, with that compression lock, it's gonna take a little bit of a beating every time you use it. It's gonna leave a mark like that. You know, it doesn't bother me now as much as it did at the beginning. But yeah, the more I use it, if I'm sitting there just playing with it, watching Netflix or what have you, right, after a while I have to put it down because, you know, it creates that whole indentation right there, you know, in my index fingers. Again, not a big deal. It is a compromise that I'm okay with. Just wanted to point that out. Again, if you're considering Spyderco knives for the first time, it is not a deal breaker for me. But again, in the spirit of providing you a comprehensive review, I definitely have to point that out to you guys. Boom, just like with every review, guys, you have to do the paper cutting test. And again, this guy is not out of the box sharp. This guy has seen plenty of use over the last couple of months. And so without further ado, if you guys are ready, I'm ready, right? Don't forget to give a rating from 1 to 10 on how sharp this guy is. Let me know in the comments. Without further ado, here we go. Boom, look at that first cut. Wow, wow, look at those cuts, guys. Butter smooth. Wow. So the box advertises a ghost-like edge. Yeah, I can see what they're saying right there. Look at that. Boom, beautiful cuts all day, every day. All right, cut a little bit right there, surprisingly, right? But has been doing outstanding. All the other cuts. Look at that. Right, does this guy need to be resharpened? I don't think so. I don't think this guy needs any sharpening of any kind anytime soon. There's so much blade there left. A good way to overcome the issue with the index finger I was pointing out earlier is whenever you're closing it, just opt for maybe using your thumb and close it this way instead. It is a little bit of a slower close, but at least, you know, your index won't take a beating like that. You could do the reverse flick, right? And then just close it with your thumb instead of your index finger. Right? That's a good way. That's what I do after I've been opening and closing it for a while with my index. And then it starts to hurt a little bit. Then I just switch what fingers I'm using, right, for deployment, what fingers I'm using for closing. So Spyderco is not only a US based company, right, made in the good old USA, but also there's a nice story background behind the company. If you haven't looked into it, make sure to do some research. Father and now son involved in the company, right? It's been definitely a family business, and they're constantly innovating, and some designs have stood the test of time, like the Para Military 2 right here, right? These are knives that are not necessarily new as of right now or anything like that. These are knives that have been around for quite a while, and why fix what isn't broken, right? So they get the job done. They're very ergonomic. They're very solid knives right here. So why reinvent the wheel? So what they do over time though is they provide more premium handle materials. They also provide more premium steels as well. So the knife continues to get better and better over time. There is a huge, but I mean a huge aftermarket for the PM2. Huge aftermarket. Everything from custom scales to custom pocket clips to a variety of dealer exclusives, right, for different blade finishes and blade steels and things like that. The list goes on as far as how many options you have with this guy. It's like right up there with the, let's say, Benchmade bug out as one of the most popular, most well-known knives out there. For first-time users of the Spyderco knives, period, right? You don't own the Spyderco knife. I'll share kind of a personal story about this guy. So at first, I didn't necessarily like Spydercos. When I first started into knives, I mean, we're all sort of assuming that a knife should look something like this, or that a knife should look something like this, right? We think of kitchen knives, you have an overall idea of what knives should look like. And you got this thing, right? You got the Spyderco with the Spidey hole. Kind of looks like as Metal Complex would say, sort of like a dead bird to me, right? It definitely has a bird aesthetic to it, you know, sort of like the beak, the eye, and whatnot. And at first, I will be honest, personally speaking, and a lot of people can agree, right? A Spyderco is not the most attractive knife out there. Some people who are not into knives may even call it ugly, right? May even call it an ugly knife, but that is not the case once you actually own it. Once you own the knife, you start to realize, right, all the attention to detail. You realize why the blade is shaped the way it is. You realize why the ergos are the way that they are, why the handle is you know, designed in such a way, you know, and things like that. You start to develop a sort of like passion and understanding for, okay, I get why Spyderco knives look like that. I guess why I'm starting to understand why their DNA looks like that. Again, myself included, I'm guilty of it. At the very beginning, I did not like Spyderco knives whatsoever, but I can tell you today, I can happily report that today Spydercos are one of my favorite knives, not only because I own a few of them, but also when I'm EDCing this guy. I mean, this guy is such a solid everyday carry, right? There's no task, big or small, that this guy can do, and it does it so well, so efficiently. I highly recommend it, of course. If you have Spydercos already, you definitely can agree there. You probably know what I'm talking about. If you're considering getting your very first Spyderco knife, right? Just know, give it a shot. You can always test them out. If you don't like them, I always say you can return the knife. That's always my perspective on testing out new knives, but I can promise you with a 90 to 95% certainty that chances are you're gonna fall in love with your Spyderco. Just give it the benefit of the doubt once you realize the edge performance, the steel, the quality, right? The workmanship that goes into these guys. You are going to love it. So in conclusion, guys, hopefully I've been able to add some value, right? If you're considering purchasing this guy, don't forget to check the links in the description. There are affiliate links that help out the channel at no extra cost to you. Yeah, one of the most iconic knives in Spyderco's lineup. Like I always say, right? You got nothing to lose. If you've been eyeing this guy for a while, perhaps if you're considering getting into Spyderco for the very first time, guys, just take this guy for a test drive. I'll tell you, you would not be disappointed. I cannot recommend this guy enough. This is a solid knife right here. This is probably top 10, right? Top 10, maybe even top 5 best EDC knives of all time. All time. We're talking all time EDC knives. The Spyderco PM2. It is that good of a knife. All right. That being said, guys, let me know in the comments if I missed anything. If there's any additional questions or different things I didn't touch on the review, let me know in the comments. I'm going to be hanging out down there answering any questions, any concerns that you may happen to have. Don't forget to like and subscribe for this video if you find it helpful. It is very likely that by the time you're seeing this video, the review on the Para 3 is already out. I'm going to go ahead and put a card right here, right? If you want to go ahead and check that review next, certainly can. An awesome EDC as well. Guys, thank you so much for making it this far. You guys are the real MVP. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.